Bom dia. Thanks for joining us today. I am Alan, and I'm here with my wife Leslie and our dog Greer. We are from the United States and now live on the beautiful island of Madeira in Portugal. Thanks for joining us today. We hope that you will subscribe to our channel to help us grow. In today's video, you will join me while I pick up my car at port, participate in my first car show here on Madeira, and go driving in my baby for the first time in 7 months. We are on the island of Madeira, which is located in the Atlantic Ocean about 580 miles west of Morocco and approximately 620 miles southwest of Lisbon. For those of you who do not know, we have waited approximately 7 months for the arrival of our car and a few household goods to arrive. This is part of our journey and has taken much longer than we'd planned, and has not been a cost-effective endeavor. But come along as I see my baby for the first time in months. We hope you enjoy as we discuss today's subject regarding the cost of shipping our car from Chicago, USA to Madeira, Portugal. Almost 30 years ago, I became only the second owner of the car and knew then I would be keeping it for my retirement years. That car is a 1970 Volkswagen Bug. The time finally came for us to plan where our next adventure in life would be, and that brought us to Madeira. In my mind, there was never any question as to whether my car was coming with me or not. With shipping costs off the charts due to COVID, that meant everything else had to go. And somehow, I convinced Leslie to go along with this. I guess after all these years, she knew we just had to make it happen. Her challenge to me was that I make the car ready to pass the certificate of conformance and all the inspections when it entered into Portugal. So I researched and completed all the necessary changes prior to leaving the US. My other issue is that I will be selling 50 years worth of automotive tools and no longer have a garage to work on my car. Therefore, I pulled the engine, did a complete overhaul, new clutch, exhaust system, as well as new body seals, seat cushions, etc. They were completed to get the car ready for its new life. So, in this video, we will discuss the process we went through in order to ship our car internationally. We will cover the paperwork we needed, some of the trials and tribulations, and the costs we incurred throughout our journey. Please note that the legalization is still in process. We will let you know of any additional costs in the future. Let's start with some basic details. We were sending our stuff to Portugal, so these are the regulations we were following. I made our car ready prior to shipping. We also chose to ship it in a 20-foot container versus open on a ship's deck. I wanted to protect it since it was my baby. The rules state you must own the car or household goods being shipped for 6 months prior to moving. You will need proof. Vehicles and household goods must be imported within 12 months of your arrival in Portugal. We secured an international moving company located in Chicago to help us with our move. The moving company provided documents and directions for importing the car and the connection to the Portuguese relocation company we would need in Lisbon in order for the car to clear customs. Note, that did not help with the legalization of the car. This is a process that needs to be completed after a car arrives. The move included a 20-foot container, of which 17 foot had been allocated for the car, and the extra 2.5 foot held the few treasured items that we were keeping. Cost for shipping is $9,135 or 8,514 euros. The cost for insurance of our stuff was $1,079 or 1,005 euros. On the scheduled day, the company came and packed up all our few belongings and took them to be stored until it was time to load into the container a couple of months later. Cost was extra for storage due to timing issues, $250 or 233 euros. For safekeeping, the car was kept at a friend's house and picked up on the day the container was to be loaded. So, the very long process began. I'm going to list the paperwork we needed for this process. The following things had to be completed while still in the U.S. We needed to obtain a NIF number, which is the Portuguese tax ID. This was the first thing we got while still in the U.S. We needed it for this process, as well as for our visa, apartment rental, etc. There is no cost unless you use someone to help you with this step. Note, before you are done, your NIF address will need to have your Portuguese address. Baggage certificate for household goods and a baggage certificate for the car, which you get from the U.S. Portuguese consulate. No cost except for the international document shipping fees. Declaration by owner and valuation declaration for the car and the household goods. Our moving company helped with these. Before we left, we also updated the vehicle registration in the U.S. so it will be current when the car arrives here in Portugal. Cost of $51. Keep the original. You will need it for legalization later. We signed up for an EIN number with the IRS. This is used for international shipping instead of your Social Security number. It is done online and simple. We also went to AAA and got an international driver's license for safekeeping. The cost of $20 per license. Now, for the things we completed after arriving in Madeira. We needed a residency certificate from the Portuguese consulate in the U.S., which cost $85 or 79 euros, as well as a residency certificate from the parish council in the town that we moved to in Portugal. This was $3, approximately 3 euros. Prior to picking up the car at the port, we needed to have Portuguese insurance on it, which means we had to start the legalization process. We are using ACP for this process. The insurance cost $130 or approximately 121 euros, and the legalization fee about $760 or 710 euros. Once you arrive in Portugal, your USA driver's license is good for 90 days. We exchanged ours for Portuguese ones during this time frame. ACP can help with this process. We needed copies of our driving records for a couple of things. This was easily completed online through our state website for $13. It is called a driving record abstract. The original title for the car will be needed for customs and legalization of the car. We also incurred a number of shipping fees due to not having all the above because we didn't know we needed it. It cost $188 or approximately 175 euros. Lastly, once the container arrives, it must process through customs. The total fees were $1,012 or 943 euros. This covered the DTHC fees, demurrages, physical inspection, and transportation until the inspection. All this
comes to a grand total of $12,754 or 11,899 euros. One last note. It was recommended to us not to ship our goods or car until after we had completed our final CEF appointment and been given temporary residence. So, the last question is, was it worth it? Well, I think so. Leslie, not so much. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
We hope that you will continue to come along with us on our new adventure. We are grateful for the opportunity that we have been given. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. Please subscribe to help us grow. Like our videos, comment so we can improve, and hit that notification bell so we can torture you regularly. Thanks.